Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Okay, Queen of Wands. That's going to go very nicely with the card that volunteered out of the pack, which is the Six of Wands, right? I think this is an unexpected... Wait, we still need those. I think this is an unexpected victory for you. Okay? I think that this is something that you have been fighting for a long, long time. All right? There is a certain satisfaction in the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is kind of looking at the past, right? Looking at that long, the Queen, you know what the Queen of Wands reminds me of? Somebody that is kind of on stage giving a speech after having received an award. You know? It feels like somebody that's just like, on stage, they're thanking everybody, but they're just like, I've worked so hard for this, and now I finally achieved it. And all the people that I'm going to thank and that sort of thing. It feels like you're somebody who has really been through the ringer, that you've suffered and you have suffered, but you've strived and you've never given up. There may be times where you wanted to, times where you kind of thought you were going to, and maybe you did for a second, but never really, never truly, right? You kept at it. And I think you're going to achieve that big win any minute now. It could have already happened, but I feel like this is energy that is upon you now. Okay? And so with the Queen, yes, it's looking at the past to be just like, let yourself feel good about this. Let yourself, feel the win here. All right? But then also remember that we're still kind of on the landing pattern. You're still on your sort of, you still got to make sure you hit the runway right and hit the brakes and, we get out of the airplane, yeah. So it's there's still more work to do, but you've done it. You've accomplished it. Okay, this really is a big win for you. And again, it may be upon you already, but maybe not. We're going to put this energy into some context and see what else is going on. There's an Eight of Swords. I wonder, why is that popping up for you? There's the Lover's card. There's the Emperor card. There's a Three of Swords. There's the High Priestess. Okay. A Ten of Pentacles. Princess of Cups. Seven of Wands. Three of Pentacles. Three of Swords, Three of Pentacles. Maybe you're just not sure what to do next. Right? Maybe this is, maybe there's a little bit of bittersweetness to this one. Because with the Queen of Wands, maybe it's, I kind of don't want this to end. That maybe you've been fighting for something so long, you've been in your emperor mode for a long time now, and now it's sort of, you've accomplished this thing, you've finished the project, or you've won the battle. And now it's just, I don't know what to do. What do I apply myself to? Right? If I'm not still in this situation, who am I? What situation am I in? So I think that we're sort of in that bittersweet zone, which is all right. But we do have to, I think maybe these should go together like that. And then the Eight of Swords over the top there. So we don't want to get stuck too much in this thinking energy, because that thinking is going to become ruminating, and then we're going to start sort of, kind of, it feels like descending into some bad energy we don't want to be in. All right, so we got to keep our intuition open, keep our heart open, and let's continue dreaming, right? Let's dream up the next big idea. Yeah. And it's sort of difficult to transition out of this Emperor energy, and that's what the Queen of Wands is doing. It's kind of saying, okay, it's time to sort of bring the plane in for a landing. Then what? You know? Let's select our mystery card. That's what. This is the random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. Do one more. And we're just going to set it down over here with Bubo, our mechanical owl, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction for that card, please put it in the comments down below. Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise. All right. Well, let's take another look around the room here, because we're seeing really just these three major arcana energies. So what Spirit is saying is that you're being cradled by the spiritual energy right now, that you are being held by your connection to the divine realm. Okay, you are being supported and encouraged. Spirit's got your back right now. All right, we've got 1, 2, 3. We got the Emperor. And I think the Emperor really is this driving force that you've had. It is this authority, this ambition, this get-her-done attitude that you've had, right? This fight, this fury, this sovereignty and agency, this confidence and commitment. Okay? And this is what has led you to victory. And this is someone who's had a good reign, right? But Emperor's had a really, really good run, right? Everybody likes them, and they've done a good job. As far as the Lover's card and the High Priestess card, this is kind of like what you're going to be inspired by next. And this is your intuition leading you forward on that new and sort of unknown path. Now, the High Priestess is a waxing lunar energy. It is a widening of the psychic aperture. Right? It's an opening of the third eye. It's a slow and gradual dawning of light. Okay, but when we're here, the Emperor is looking forward into this Eight of Swords, can't really see the future very much. Because the Emperor, all it knows is that its reign is coming to an end. That its big project is kind of, its legacy is kind of that run is over, right? Not to say that another one's not coming right after it, right? But the Lover's card is really the key here, because this is the inspiration. This is kind of following what is the next right course for you. The next thing that really needs to take place in your life. What's the next big fight? The Emperor has a victory, a 6 of Wands. Is that the end of the entire thing, or is that one win in a series of wins that you're going after? Because you're trying to really build your best life here. Okay, we could be talking about a business thing, or an artistic project, a creative collaboration. Okay, and what I'm kind of sensing here is that you are succeeding at this. Things are going your way. You're getting what you want, but we have a little bit of thoughts about it. We're sort of overanalyzing it too much. And maybe you're even analyzing it in the sense of, I'm really good at this. I'm doing a great job. Do I care? Do I want it? Do I feel inspired to do this still? Maybe you're considering that, hey, you've already won a lot of heavyweight championships or whatever. You got a lot of Super Bowl rings or whatever. Maybe it's time to do something else with your life. So this is one of those moments that we all face at some point. It says, is it time for a change? Is it time to apply my energy somewhere else? Well, part of you says no, because we got the 7 of Wands, but it's in the position of what you don't want. When you're over here, you don't want that. You don't want anything to challenge your title. You've got that heavyweight, belt or whatever it is, right? You've got the title, and we don't want any challenge to that. We like it. We like winning, And I think you're like the rest of us human beings. I think you like to win. You like to know that you're good at something. and you like to have the rewards of being good at something. But just being good at something and being rewarded for that, you've got to ask yourself if it has that sense of purpose for you. Okay, so we've got the Eight of Wands, and well, we have our major arcana. We have fire. We good fire energies here, right? The Queen of Wands likes the victory. Doesn't want any more fight. Likes the victory, right? We don't want to sort of go back to then, being challenged. This is kind of like you've got the heavyweight wrestling federation belt or whatever it is, and you don't want any challengers. You want to be uncontested, right? But I think when we get over here to the path of the serpent, we realize that we kind of do want that. We kind of do want to be tested. We do want to have something to strive for, something to struggle against. We do want to have some kind of it's kind of like coming out of retirement and just to show that I still got it, But there is a lack of certainty right now. And it's just because you can't really see what's coming next for you. But maybe the idea here is let's not overthink it too much, because that's going to really lead us down into this despair, this angst, this existential crisis, when really what you need to be doing, and I can see that we don't have a lot of water energy here, you need to be celebrating this big win. It wasn't just for you. Okay, it was for the whole team. It was for everybody that was there, everybody that helped you, everybody kind of behind the scenes or whatever, right? So we've got good fire. We don't have very much water at all. The water we have is the Princess of Cups in the position of the environment. Okay, and what's it doing in the environment? Well, I think maybe it's looking around for something that it wants. It's looking around for a satisfaction. There's this need to have a desire and to gratify that desire. So the Princess of Cups is kind of looking around in life for other things to want, other dreams to try to manifest, other desires to fulfill. And sometimes this can lead us to a lot of short-term gratification, if you know what I mean. But it's not necessarily inspired. Okay? Not necessarily inspired. So this is kind of, this is someone who is enjoying themselves, I think, in the short term, but then starting to wonder, okay, you know what, the celebration here, the gratification, the joy that I'm feeling doesn't seem to be lasting. Okay, so sometimes the Princess of Cups is always searching for new ways to gratify desires, new ways to feel joy again. Or chasing that feeling of ecstasy or bliss or joy. Yeah. But I think that we realize, I think, and that's sort of what the rest of the energy is telling me here, that when you're pursuing your best life, and I know I'm sort of skipping some of the cards for now, but when you're living your best life, when you're pursuing those things that you know to be true parts of your spiritual essence, when you truly are inspired, and you've got something to fight for, something to strive for, something to really, to a purpose in your life, right? When you've got challenges that need you to be present, right, to be useful, to be active, when the Emperor's got something to do, this Princess of Cups becomes a lasting joy. And maybe the realization here is that for you to feel joy, you have to be applying yourself to something. There has to be another mountain to climb. There has to be something else. Let's get the ball rolling in another project. Let's keep going. Let's do something new. Let's do something else. Let's do this one again. I'll ride this roller coaster as many times as I have to, as many times as I want to. And when it stops bringing me joy, I'll go find another roller coaster. I'll go find another thing to build. I'll go find another company to start. Maybe you have this very entrepreneurial attitude or ambition. maybe this is just a reflection of the emperor that says the emperor needs an empire, right? The empire needs to be, there needs to be something to do. There needs to be projects, Otherwise, the emperor gets bored. There's nothing to do. Everything's perfect. Why am I here? Why, you can just get a machine to do my job. I'll go take a nap. There has to be something for you to get involved in. There has to be more things for you to apply yourself to challenge yourself with. Go and experiment. Try new things, right? Go step out into the unknown and find something that you're not very good at. Find something that you don't really know anything about and get good at it, and apply yourself to it. I think that's all these energies, very appropriate for you, as a Capricorn, as a cardinal earth energy. You like to be involved in things. You like to be kind of busy, but especially when those sorts of activities and challenges, which we see over here, bring you joy. And so just as much as we like this win, we like this this accomplishment, this achievement, it's kind of like, what it's like when you're playing a video game. And I used to play this Mike Tyson's Punch-Out game when I was a kid. I'm kind of showing my age here. I was on the old Nintendo. And we'd get all the way to sort of, to the top. And I'd always just reset the game, start over. I didn't always want to finish the game. I liked working my way up to getting to that point where it's so easy. It's kind of boring, And my friends, my brother, would have these cheat codes, which would be like, you couldn't get knocked out, or I can't remember what it was exactly, but it's like you couldn't get knocked out, or your punches had 10 times the power or something, and it just made it too easy. You could literally, it didn't matter. A baby could do it. There was no challenge to it. And I was like, I'd rather just sort of be bad at it than to have too much assistance to where the accomplishments don't really mean anything anymore. And I wonder if the cards we have right here in the middle are kind of saying, look, that what you've been applying yourself to just become a little too easy now. And maybe that's the reason for some of this mental discomfort and some of this sadness, because the Three of Swords is a sorrow. Sometimes we don't know why we feel that way. Sometimes we don't know, I should be happy. I'm getting all this stuff I want. Well, why am I ill at ease? Why don't I feel the joy that I should be feeling? Well, maybe things have just become sort of too routine, too easy. Yeah, maybe challenge and then I win. Challenge and then I win. There's the next fighter, but I know that I can't get knocked out and my punches have 10 times the power. Doesn't really do anything for me. And I think that you sort of have that kind of ambition in you, but it has to be inspired. We've got this Lover's card. Now we could be talking about romantic relationships. We could be talking about business things, entrepreneurial adventures. We could be talking about spiritual things or just friendships, hobbies, physical activities, sports. Maybe you're trying to play tennis. Maybe you're learning. I do think you got something with your elbow, right? Your elbow has been bothering you. Maybe it's the tennis elbow. But you like to be good at things. But let me rephrase that. You like to get good at things. Because being good at something, it feels nice for a while. You're sort of in this flow, and it's just kind of, it's easy and it's nice and it's, it feels comfortable, I think you like the climb. You like the challenge. You like seeing the progress day after day and getting there and getting better and better and better. You like the 9 of Pentacles more than the 10 of Pentacles, I think is it, right? But the Lover's card, now it could be sort of the excitement of meeting somebody new. The period of time where you're getting to know people, or you're starting a new job and it's just like you get to learn where the bathrooms are. You get to learn where the cafeteria, what time's lunch, what kind of work is it going to be, and what are the people going to be like. It's challenging, but you like that. You have a confidence in yourself that you're going to get good at it. You're going to master this thing. You're going to get very comfortable at this job, and it's going to be really a nice flow. Maybe that's when it starts to get kind of boring. There's nothing left to do. There's nothing left to learn. I'm not saying that the reading is telling you to quit your job or leave your marriage or your relationship or anything, but we've got to find ways to keep it joyful, keep it exciting, keep the passion in there. We've got to find our inspiration again, okay? And I think this is why there is this, it's just a looming sort of melancholy over your life right now, okay? We have the intuition, we have the waxing moon here. I think once we realize what might be going on up here and why we are just kind of ruminating on how we feel, we're just stewing in it. This isn't really productive thought. Okay, this is the figure 8. And it's just looping back in on itself. We're just we're stirring the pot a little bit of our own discontent. The way forward is by allowing yourself to be open, right? Opening your heart, opening your mind, opening your soul to the divine light. What is Spirit telling you? Okay, what is your own inner truth? Because you know what it is. It's in there. And this card is all about us opening up ourselves and discovering the truth that's in there. Because sometimes, the High Priestess card can say, there's something hidden from you. Yeah, it's yourself. It's your own desires and motivations, your own will. And it's always kind of partially obscured. Sometimes we find it's a very bright, overwhelming light. And sometimes it dims. And this is the card that says that light is growing. Things are getting brighter. It's a waxing psychic energy. Okay? We've got to allow this into our life because it's going to show you what kind of life you need to be living to experience an ongoing sort of almost an everlasting joy. And not some static thing. It's not some state of nirvana where, I don't need to do anything and I'm just kind of in this place where I just feel good all the time. Right? I'm just sort of sitting here, doing nothing but in this permanent state of bliss, I think it's showing you through action, through activity. This card is about rediscovering our inspiration, our motivation, our heart, our path. It's about looking deep within and seeing what this truth is. Now, maybe this is, the sort of rediscovering the passion and the commitment and the devotion in your marriage or in your relationship or in your friendships, in your life, in your business, in your work life, creative life, your spiritual life, all of those things. Okay? This rumination is obscuring the message from Spirit and obscuring your inspiration and your commitment and your love, and whether this is kind of taking you into a different realm, or if this is saying like, hey, you like the wins, yeah, but you like the game better. So maybe it is kind of urging you out into the world, to go out on a limb, to branch out your life a little bit, step into the unknown, meet new people, try new things, start a new hobby, start a new sport, try jujitsu, right? Maybe it is kind of getting back to tennis or something, or these other things that maybe are in there that you have always wanted to do, and trying to do some of those things. They don't have to cost a lot of money. They don't have to take up a lot of time. But I think they do have to be challenging. They cannot be too easy for you. Okay? Maybe easy to do, but difficult to master. You know what I mean? Let's talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's free. It supports the channel, and I really do appreciate that. I have another channel, Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. That is where I do one or two just they're audience submitted stories. Sometimes I find some old some old stories to read or things like that. I do one or two a week. It's kind of nice. It's relaxing anyway. So go check that out if you think you might enjoy that. I'll see you over there. All right. Your general energy is this Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is the picture of your best life, the ideal life, right? And maybe this is your energy right now, where you just feel like, I've achieved everything that I sort of previously wanted in life. It seems on paper everything is fine. It's like you drew a picture. Back in the day I used to ask you to draw a picture of your best life. Maybe you did that. And maybe today is the day you realize that you got that now. You did that. You drew a picture of some things, and now you have those things. You've manifested them. And that is beautiful. That is absolutely stellar. Maybe we're realizing what I've also been saying for years, is that this is not a static picture, that this vision of our best life has to grow and evolve and change over time. If we get here and that's it, we stagnate. We get into this rumination. We start to feel this melancholy. We feel this discontent and this uneasiness and this existential angst because we kind of think, is this it? Is this all life was going to be? Maybe you've been dreaming too small. Maybe your picture needs to get bigger, right? Maybe there's some things that you want to erase. Saying, okay, we're going to get one of those big pink erasers. I don't want that anymore. We're going to erase that. We draw something else. Maybe it's just about getting another sheet of paper, adding on to this picture. Okay? Those people that are the happiest, I think, in life, in my experience, looking at people I know who are in their advanced years, 60, 70, 80, 90, 150 years old, right? What keeps them happy, or how their approach to life, is one where they always have something to do. My grandmother is 95 years old, and she, to her last day will be, I'm working on the garden. I got to go outside today and finish my gardening projects, which gets kind of dangerous when you're that age and, you fall and things like this. You got to be more careful as you go. But it's just amazing. And it's not she's not out there kind of saying, well, I'm going to start another business, or I'm going to go be the CEO at YouTube or something. No, she's just saying, I got to get dressed. I got to put my face on. I'm going to go meet my friends for coffee or something. Just these little things, but always having something to do. And sometimes I have to say, Grammy, you got to sit down. You got to just stay home today. Just watch TV or something. And she's like, nah, there's nothing good on anyway. I'm going to go out and, she likes to go out and spend some of her money, and she has ambition still. And it has to be in proportion, that we have to put it in perspective. But it's always thinking of what to do next. Well, she wants to do some new flowers in the backyard. So she wakes up early, she'll get her shovel thing and put her gloves on, and she'll go out in the backyard and she'll be digging up the whatever I don't know what kind of flowers they are. But we're always adding on to our life. Okay, this static picture, it's not really a 10 of Pentacles, is it? It's an 11, it's a 20, it's 100, it's exponential. It is unlimited. It's just because we in the West have this base 10 way of counting, this decimal system, right? And 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, and then a whole bunch. And some cultures, they have like base 2 or base 12 or base 7 or something. And it's like, I got 1, I got 2, I got a whole bunch. That's the way they count. We just happen to count to 10. And that's our way of saying it's just infinite. Once you get to 10, you start over, but you're just kind of on the top, you're one level up. I mean, that's what counting is, right? Every number is infinite. There's no end to it. Because I think when we get this big win, when it kind of feels like, I completed my project, or I did that, and maybe this is you transitioning out of the workforce, maybe you are retiring, Maybe you finished this big project at your home. Maybe you've been renovating or something. It's like, I did that and I feel the joy, but now it's just like, now I don't feel so good anymore. Now that joy is gone and I'm still left with this melancholy. Okay? And maybe we need to connect with that more true, more authentic part of ourselves, that it's our inner truth of what really does inspire us. What do we really want? Maybe these are not the wins that you need. Maybe you're accomplishing these things, whatever they may be, and they don't really do it for you. What is your soul really telling you here? The Princess of Cups, like I said, in the environment is just doing things, anything it can to sort of to feel a little bit of that joy. And that could lead us into some trouble if we're not careful with it, right? But this is the water energy. This is all the water we have. So we've got to start somewhere. Ask yourself, what are those things that bring you a deep satisfaction or a deeper joy? Well, like my grandma was, she really likes having coffee with her friends out at the coffee shop by her house. She really likes going out and gardening early in the morning. That brings her joy, right? It's challenging. You got to get up early. You got to go kneel down, crouch down on your knees and dig and stuff. She finds joy in that, you know? What kind of things do you find joy in doing? Well, let's ask ourselves, and it doesn't have to be, maybe we don't know. Maybe it says, well, I had joy in doing whatever this fire energy stuff was over here, but I've done that now. Now I'm already good at, now I'm an expert tennis player, and there's just not as much joy in tennis anymore. Okay, well, maybe you got to find some new people to play with, right? Or you just kind of realize that, yeah, maybe mastering something is a fun accomplishment, but it's time to get towards something else. We realize that we need a 7 of Wands. We need something to fight for. We need something to aspire toward. We need work. Everybody, we need work. The day we stop working is our last day, right? And I don't care how old you are. You could be a teenager. You could be 120. Work is just what you're burning calories doing every day. Work is what you are putting your effort into. Are you putting your effort into things that bring you joy? Or are you putting your effort into things that you've already sort of gotten all the joy from them that you could? It's just they don't hit anymore, you know? Or are you not putting your energy into anything? Just sort of bare minimum basic stuff. Right? And those bare minimum basic sort of efforts, they bring us joy too. Again, it's in proportion to our capacity. Right? You know, my grandma, 95 years old, her going out and having coffee with friends on the weekends and doing her gardening in the morning, that's like 90, 95, 100% of her capacity for effort, right, at her age. But if that's all I'm doing, I'm leaving all this empty space in there. You know, I've got all this inner resource of fire, of creativity, of energy, but I'm only doing a little tiny bit. Then I don't think I'm really, I mean, maybe those things are very pleasant to do, but there's this huge gap, there's this empty space, there's this void. Okay. So I'm not saying that you have to go out and fill your life and fill your days with all of this busyness. It's not about being busy. It's about putting your effort into something that is meaningful, that speaks to you, that is your truth. Okay, maybe you're putting all 100% of your effort into something that isn't really meant for you anymore. You know? Or maybe, conversely, maybe we're trying to find something. Maybe we're realizing that we need something into which I can put my effort. Most of it, not all, maybe half, right? Save half for other things. But maybe we need to fill up our energy, demands. Yeah. And the 3 of Pentacles is right along those lines too, because this is saying that we're beginning new projects. So we're working on stuff. We're getting the ball rolling in certain things. And we're not stagnating. This is an 8. This is a 10. This is a 6. Yeah, these are even numbered cards. These are states. But the 7, the 3, these are active cards. These are verbs. This is at least you doing something, right? And this is you maybe, recognizing the melancholy and where it comes from. It's sort of related to your inability to connect with your purpose, with your inspiration, with your source, with your inner truth. Once we do that, we involve ourselves in things that have meaning for us, and we feel more and more joy in our life. And our best life here is expanding and getting bigger and growing, and these pentacles here are changing a little bit. Let's look at the mystery card. I expect devil energy. I expect maybe Wheel of Fortune, or some more water energy. What about a 6 of Cups? Yeah. Let's see what we have. It's a 5 of Cups. Okay. 5 of Cups we can work with. At least there's movement in the water. At least there is, activity going on. There's a realization, I think, with the 6. A realization that I may be good at it, but it doesn't bring me joy. Okay? At least I know that now. At least I can apply my fiery energy towards something, to achieve something, or to work towards something, right? That will bring me joy. So at least we have a recognition of, one, the sort of the fleeting nature of satisfaction. The fleeting nature of, let's say, pleasure. The fleeting nature of pleasant emotions, right? That if I do something and it feels good right now as I'm doing it, then it must be good for me. But that feeling goes away very, very quickly. For instance, I'm sitting in this chair. When I first sit down, I kind of ease into it. I think, this is comfortable. But after about 5 minutes, you see I'm squirming around. I'm crossing my legs. I'm just sort of shifting. It's just my back starts to get sore, right? I don't have the best posture, but any position held long enough will begin to be uncomfortable. Anything that we do long enough, we're going to realize it doesn't feel good anymore. Even though you're good at it, 6 of Wands, it's okay to realize that I don't find joy in that anymore. I'm going to turn around and look for what does bring me joy, but not just in terms of, a new position to sit in this chair, because I know in 5 minutes it's going to be uncomfortable too. I want something that's lasting. I want something that is going to bring me a deeper, more long-term joy. Right? This chair brings me joy because it's part of me being able to sit here and do these readings. So I'm willing to be uncomfortable in the chair a little bit and shift my body and take these pleasant, unpleasant fluctuations of life, of daily moment-to-moment life, because of the long-term sense of purpose and joy that it brings me to be here, reading these cards for you every day, 5 hours a day, 7 days a week, And so we recognize that the temporary comfort or discomfort is secondary to that deeper love, deeper joy, deeper sense of purpose. Okay? And so it may be a recognition that, if things aren't bringing you that sort of deeper joy, then we've got to reconsider what we're doing. And we have to apply ourselves to other challenging endeavors and projects and aspirations that are going to bring us not necessarily the immediate pleasure like eating a bowl of ice cream, but the long-term, deeper joy of life. Yeah. When we're operating from our true self, operating from our truth, that's the kind of joy that it brings. Yeah. So I think this is a very necessary card. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Capricorn Thursday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Supports the channel, and I appreciate that. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Yeah. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you. And we're all in this together.